is going on? What is going on? Peace, power, and profit. Peace, power, and profit. Unc Uja Soner, life, prosperity, and health to everybody out there in the financial world, to the go-getters, entrepreneurs, right? Those who are progressive at getting after opportunity, right? Those who are not sedentary and settling for less, right? Those who you guys who are uh, builders and not necessarily demolishers or destroyers, right? Peace, power, and profit to you all, right? Again, we always want to come on with the best positive affirmation to kind of let everybody know the type of energy that we work with over here. No secret, y'all know how we roll. Again, Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. I am because we are a village, right? We are, again, brothers and sisters keepers in this perspective in terms of financial literacy and just in general. So I hope everybody's having a great Friday. TGIF for all you guys who obviously follow the Thank God It's Friday reality, right? For us market participators, of course, every day is Friday to us because it's an opportunity, right? So we can get after a bag, right? And we never shy away from such an opportunity, when things are setting up properly to give us such an opportunity as well. All right. So again, I hope you guys are having a great day. Like I said before, I'm going to come on and discuss a couple things here. Like always, I'm kind of in and out as it seems to be, right? Trying to find a level of consistency to be live much more than not live. But again, for those who do still, come to the channel when we are live, I appreciate your participation. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your input and your opinions when you do come on to kind of hang out with your brother for just for a few minutes. Of course, I'm grateful for that. I'm not this super YouTube presence, but I will say when I do come on, I like to try to bring some kind of value to the family. So I thank you guys again for coming through. Like, share, subscribe. Of course, we are basically a PG rated environment over here, so you even have your kids can tune in, right? Your young adults, because these are the things that we're trying to profess to them every day in terms of financial literacy. And in our perspective, of course, we are very market related heavy. Of course, we also delve into real estate. We delve into other entrepreneur endeavors and business ownership, and again, whatever. Right, we are progressive at opportunity based at the end of the day, right? We value being our own boss, right? I'll just say that we value being our own boss, making living life under our own perspective, so to speak. So again, shout out to everybody that's coming through. I have some family already coming through in the back chat. What's going on over, Chris? Happy to have you here. All right, we have the awesome Miss Illustrious Miss Awesome Play Hard Adventures in the building, right? We both been kind of slacking off YouTube, sis. I saw your post not too long ago as well. You know how it is. People get busy sometimes. Y'all know how life is, right? So happy to have her here. Peace, power, and profit to Play Hard Adventures in the house, guys. Like we always say, we like to big up the family here. Go subscribe to her YouTube channel, right? It's an awesome content creator. She's been very busy like many other people, but definitely you will love all of her videos. So go subscribe to her channel. Show support for those who support you. So thank you for coming through as well, sis. What's going on over Chris? Again, go subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. Over Chris is building out a great channel. A lot of great content just in general, just from history, into financial literacy as a whole. But again, gentleman has a great viewpoint of a lot of things in terms of knowledge as well. So again, help us, help each other who definitely are putting in this work to try to grow a base. And so shout out to Ober Chris. What's going on, brother Mathis? Ober Mathis in the building. Peace, power, and profit to you, Ober. Always happy to have the family come through again. You guys are always, man. I tell you what, man. As we say, our financial battles, right? You got to pick your financial battles. I already know who I'm going to get because you guys are always front and center. And so it's good to have consistency in terms of knowing, people who are, really serious about this market, serious about opportunity in general. Again, that's what we're here for, right? Why else would somebody go through, cranking up YouTube? Well, I guess I should say it this way because YouTube is full of everything, of course. But for us, when we crank up the YouTube, you know what it's going to be about, right? We're going to talk about finding a way to get some money, all right? And we're going to, try to lay out a pathway to get you there without all the double talk, not all the slick talk, without all the fast talking, without all this trying to sell you something. Because the great thing I love about the markets, again, the stock market, that is, or the Forex or crypto side of the house, right? We can't sell you the market, right? We can't sell you something that we do not own prospectively in terms in general as a one big large entity, right? We own shares inside of it, but we don't own the overall market, and so we're at the same discretion as everybody else is, as a Warren Buffett, right? A Paul Tudor Jones, right? A Tepper, whoever, right? Whoever's your favorite trader, a Dalio, right? When we wake up, we see the same stuff they see, right? When they crank their charts up, right? So again, it just makes it a great place where we can come in and try to strategize around it to try to find a way to make some money, right? So shout out to, again, all you entrepreneurs and you endeavors, all you people who realize that the goal to financial freedom starts with having a plan, a precision to say, I'm going to trust, again, my understanding of how to make my money work for me, basically, right? Put that in a very layman term perspective, right? You got to learn how to make your money work for you, right? Everybody would love to have such a scenario if they had, the time, the knowledge or the resources to be able to do so. But I'm here to tell you that you definitely can do it, right? You can do it, right? If you spent 4 years going to college, right, going into debt, and you had to sit through all those different, basic courses before you even got to your program courses, then you already know what I'm talking about, right? You done sat through a lot of things that probably wasn't the best, energy and interest toward, where you were at that point. But once you got through it, you realized that there was a great lesson behind that. Well, in this case, you're dealing with money, right? I don't know too many people out there who do not love money, or, the ideal of wanting to be able to make their own money, right? Under their own time, under their own dime, as we like to say over here a lot. We use a lot of, colloquial rhymes, whatever, right? But ultimately, no, seriously, that's what we're here for, right? Who wants to spend working their lifetime for someone else, right? Unless they're going to really pay you what your weight and worth is truly about, right? Again, that's the problem with the job market, right? No one wants to pay you what your worth is, right? They want to downplay you and kind of force you to make a starvation decision, so to speak, right? That's just America. Y'all not America. America don't care about you when it comes to that stuff. The labor force, yeah, good luck. Them days over with. It's truly every man for himself. Every man, every woman, every child for himself. Even the children have to fend for themselves because they're dealing with a system and that's all over the place as well, right? So again, peace, power, profit. Thank you guys for coming in. We see Sister Angie just popped through. Peace, power, profit to you, Ilba. Happy to have you here. Right, I see all these beautiful faces in the chat, man. You guys are awesome. I tell you, man, I'm smiling. I know I haven't been around for a little couple of days, right? I got some things holding me down. Well, not gonna say holding me down. I just got duties, right? I just got duties. We call it what it is, right? That's life, right? But nonetheless, thank you guys for coming through again on this Friday. Again, I hope you guys are enjoying watching this market just go bananas. It's been bonkers. It's all over the place. In a good way. When I say all over the place, meaning it's kind of really presenting itself for us the month of April as the reverse or the retracement trade of what we dealt with March, right? The Feds have the printers singing on all pretty much on all tunes, right? All frequencies, right? They're printing money like it's not it's going out of business. Again, of course, how do we track that stuff? That's the great thing I love about this stuff, because we are people who like to be very descriptive and detailed about figuring out where the money is coming from, right? Again, if you have a outflow, which we obviously had in the month of March, where you have a massive outflow in terms of the equity markets, right? Again, a lot of people were leaving the growth stocks, so they were just kind of trimming their growth positions, I should say. They was paring back some of those gains in most cases for most people, and they went into a lot of the value stocks, right? Value stocks obviously offer up a great cyclical trade, meaning they're great because they offer a great what they call like short squeezes, and so to speak, because they were kind of oversold, left for dead. They were very cheap, so they became very attractive, and you just had a little small rotation. That's how the market works, right? Nothing, basically has a sedentary, I should say, game plan for the most case, because obviously stocks go up and they go down. Some obviously get hit harder than others during certain times when the markets are not necessarily based in organic growth. Then everybody's kind of scarce in terms of how they want to position their money, so they're gonna go look for the ones that have the best bang for their buck. So if it's moving out of these stocks that obviously have a niche market, or they might just be a cyclical trade, meaning they only do good during certain seasons, then it makes makes no sense to kind of be sitting in them for at least 52-week value. If there's other stocks out there that are outperforming, doing very well, they have great moats, meaning good financial standings, good financials, business values, that models that they should have in place, excuse me, to kind of still make them make money, then that's how this stuff works, right? You have to go where the money's at, right? You have to follow the money. And that don't necessarily mean you go out there and try to day trade everything. I'm saying when it comes to learning how to even manage your portfolio, you need to know when to trim, when to add, when to sit still and just watch things unfold, right? And that's any business, right? That's how business works, right? You may have a booming season or a booming cycle, and then you might kind of go dormant a little bit. So you take the money you made during that booming cycle and you reinvest in the business, right? Get ready for the next particular boom cycle, right? Not necessarily busting, right? Because you ain't just going under, you just go through a dormant period. And so investing, I liken that to that same reality, right? Some of you guys may like sports. If that's the case, right? It's seasonal for a reason, right? You only get a certain season, a time frame that you get to, obviously go hard. But leading into that season in comes the marketing, getting everybody fired up about it, right? That's how the market is in a lot of ways too. When stocks obviously hit that rotation and they go from a peak to trough perspective, what happens, right? Basically, you get to the point where things become oversold, right? You say, okay, now they start doing all the advertisement and the companies. Here come the analysts with their upgrades and getting everybody fired up about the stock to a degree. And you ask yourself, man, I don't know, man, I might be a little too premature in this investment here. But chances are, if you learn how to read those tea leaves thoroughly and properly, you'll start seeing the inflow starting to increase. You'll start seeing abnormal volume increase in the stock, right? Which is not hard once you learn how to read the volume bars, right? You start seeing, again, like I said, the upgrades, right? They might say, well, we're going to do an upgrade on this stock. We think that, again, it has reached its bottom. They've kind of revamped their their back office, so to speak, their pipelines or whatever, their supply chain. We're dealing with COVID still, but we believe this is going to be a great, rebalancing, I should say a bounce back trade when America kind of opens back up. So that's basically what we're dealing with right now. What's going on with Ilba Tamika, right? Ilba Tamika just popped in the house, right? Got the sisters coming through today to get some of this good energy, good knowledge, right? Peace, power, profit to you. Thank you definitely for the gesture there and the warm wishes. Thank you. Right. So again, that's what we're here for. Again, ultimately, guys and ladies, of course, is to be able to assess these things, right? To be able to figure out, where is our money most suited for us going forward, right? That's the greatest, question everybody asks themselves, right? A day to day, right? How can I be more, financially situated where I'm not necessarily having to worry about, again, if the virus pick back up again, if the government go haywire. Of course, y'all know they got all this talk about Ukraine right now. I'm sure you guys been watching this stuff. This whole ordeal with USA and Russia, right? Putin obviously testing Biden. Y'all know how this stuff go. Every president come in, got a war, right? Be it financial, be it military, be it biohazard, whatever, right? We just witnessing that. It's no secret at this point, right? Y'all know pretty much how America rolls, right? There's always going to be some kind of valuable test that a president has to go with, especially when they're coming in new. And so who knows, right? Again, we'll cross our fingers, hope nothing crazy pop off. But as of now, they got these little threats going back and forth, right, between USA and Russia right now. All right, so we'll see how that pans out. But just be comfortable, again, confident in knowing that either way, the markets are still going to do what it's going to do one way or the other, right? So like we all know, markets love climbing what we call the wall of worry. The more worry there is on a global scale is when most financial managers or fund managers, the banks, the feds, right, whomever, IMF, right, again, those central banks out there as a whole, that's when they actually start doubling down, right? We saw that firsthand with COVID, right, during the middle of COVID, right, when COVID really set root and really just began to kind of decimate, the globe as a whole and economies. Well, what happened? You had this universal, coding where it says, okay, everybody now start printing a lot of money, start, supporting the economy, and rich people start saying, okay, they start doing, again, the Birdman hand rub. That's basically what happens anytime there's chaos, right? Chaos and confusion always brings about what? The flip side of that, right? When everybody's worried about the skies falling, that's when people start planning to deal with when the skies clear again, right? That it's the ultimate, the antithesis to the ideal of how we should even look at a lot of things, right? Because most people are too busy worried too much more than they need to, right? If that, obviously resonates a little bit, right? Don't get too caught up in worrying about things that, ultimately, if you can't control them physically within your own bounds, then make sure at least you're planning your life around to be able to deal with it and also come on the back end of the rebound, right? They say it only stays cloudy for so many days, right? At some point the sun got to come out, right? So that's basically what we're dealing with when it comes to the market. So again, as of right now, real quick, I'll do this. Hop over here to the S&P 500 here. What's going on, everybody? Again, to all my Facebook family too. Thank y'all for tuning in as well. Peace, power, and profit to you all on this Friday. Hope you guys are having a great day as well. We like to show love to everybody out there, right? We love those who value getting this information, right? We're not, what they call lazy folks when it comes to this, because we live this, literally. We live this, right? Live this, breathe this, sleep this. Y'all know how this stuff go, right? All right. But anyway, so really quick, like I said, I just want to show a couple little, what I'm looking at a little bit here in the market, really quick here. I see what's going on. Get you guys' opinion as well. Again, you have a marketplace that's just been banging. S&P 500 as a whole has just been on a tear. Again, if we just even put on the 60-minute chart on an hourly basis here, you see here since the month of April has kicked off, literally April Fool's Day was not an April Fool, right? I repeat, April Fool's Day, April 1st that is, was not an April Fool's moment. These people came in and tricked a lot of right? They tricked a lot of contrarian traders. All those people who felt like the market was just going to kind of have that level of continuation that we dealt with in the month of March got bamboozled. Now, there was nothing necessarily overly, I should say, technical to kind of assess that the market was just going to have this new flux of just unlimited power, it seems like, coming into it, meaning there's any kind of news catalyst that was causing it. I mean, we knew the stimulus checks were still kind of filtering through. We get that. The infrastructure bill, of course, we just got the literature behind it. Not necessarily, no money was spent, but it's still like, okay, we're goaling for that. The only thing that I can really assess the market bump up for the month of April to at this point was, again, dealing with the idea that we came out of right? We came out of pretty much March, I'm not going to say oversold to perspective. It just kind of stayed within a channel, right? It traded within this kind of like of a, I don't know. Matter of fact, let's look right here. You can see right here, literally coming out of the middle of February here, going into March, you kind of bottomed out, obviously in March, like literally around about the first week of March, somewhere around there, give or take. Around about 371.72. So that was pretty much your peak to trough, right? We always talk about peak to trough, right? Here's your peak, obviously. Here's your trough bounce off the 20 moving average here on the weekly chart, which obviously you see that last time we actually got close to the weekly 20 EMA here was way back during the month of October and November. Basically, we came back and actually tested the VWAP at that point, all right? We haven't looked back since. This thing been in a straight line. Literally, look at this. This is almost a straight line. You could make this up. Okay, you had a little pullback here. When we see things like that, we understand what's going on even with that, right? You obviously had some market scares going on during that point, right? Typically, you're always going to have, again, the ideal of markets trying to imitate what they kind of went through before. Because we go back to the month of February. Again, last year during the coronavirus, the thick of it, that's when all the worrying began to pick up, and the markets began to be very skittish. Right, you had people start to kind of think about if they're going to sell, should they rotate to something more safe like bonds, right? Should they buy gold, right? Should they buy Bitcoin, whatever, all right? But markets have memory, right? I'm always saying that for a reason. I tell people every day, you got to realize, right? You want to assess the history, you always look to the left. Understand you can never go right without looking to the left first, right? You have to make sure you watch basically every aspect of what you can to have the best and the better assessment to go and go out to make a strategic plan around, right? So initially, again, looking at the market here, you would think that we haven't missed a beat, and we literally haven't, because that literally looked like a straight line. I mean, look at the tops. It looks like a straight line all the way through. See, right? Even up to where we're at now, right? This little divot here, this little pullback here, again, and we came down and tested like 371 and change here, was just no more than a buying opportunity, right? To prepare, in most cases, I was get ready for the month of April, because again, month of March has always been looked at somewhat like a capex spending month, again, a rotation month, a gestation period kind of month. You kind of in between coming out of fourth quarter readings, going into the first quarter reading, trying to figure out how do we plan to go forward to kind of get ready for the full fiscal calendar year, right? And so that's why it's always kind of, a well-known observation. The market's always kind of go a little dormant during the month of March, right? Then month of April kicks in, and okay, all of a sudden, people are excited, right? Well, even more so now because we're up against what? The ideal of getting back to what we so-called call an aspect of normalcy due to COVID, right? This whole idea of the reopening trade, right? So you ask yourself, what is a reopening trade? What are the assets out there that will benefit, meaning the companies, whatever, stocks, whatever, that will benefit from a reopening, right? Now that we're somewhat close to that idea of what that could look like, at the aspect that we're getting more people vaccinated that obviously wants to get vaccinated, right? And so for those, those people, they're like, hey, we're ready, right? I'm ready to get back out and and enjoy my life, right? And so again, COVID, it has, really set, some really, man, it has done some damage. I'll just say that it has definitely done some damage, but nonetheless, again, life goes on. Just got to be more protective in how you move, how you roll, and everything, eventually, hopefully will work itself out, right? But yeah, we learned a lot throughout 2020, and hopefully 2021 obviously provides us a better assessment on what not to do, of what we need to pay attention to more than we've used to. Obviously, at some point that caught a lot of people off guard, and so it's the same thing when it comes to finance, because a lot of people had a financial wake-up call too. I repeat, a lot of people had a financial wake-up call as well due to the coronavirus situation, because of what? They wasn't prepared, right? They kind of, the story of the three little pigs, right? Some people built their house with straws and wet toilet paper and whatever, right? But those who built their house with bricks and petrified wood, right? Guess what? Those people are winning right now, right? Those people are winning right now. So shout out again for those who, sat still long enough to kind of figure out what they could do to make their situation work for them, right? So shout out to you all. All right. So again, there you go. Just looking at the market here really quick. Yeah, you got this breakout that's going here. So basically, I was messaging somebody, I think maybe a couple days ago. So you know what? The market is obviously, in this uptrend, right? This massive uptrend, right? Again, for what it's worth, we know that it's kind of reaching some oversold levels, overbought levels on the daily chart, on the daily readout aspect of it, right? But here's the deal, right? We understand markets can remain, irrational longer than you can remain solid. I mean, it can just keep going wherever the way it's going longer than you have enough money to try to contrarian and trade it, or try to get ahead of it to try to say, I think it's going to pull back at some point. And so a lot of the put buyers who've been trying to short the market basically the entire month of April have been getting decimated. I mean, literally, if you would sit buying it and holding it to the next day, forget about it. You literally had to kind of do some real intraday day trading for puts in order to make any kind of money, if any, right? Because the market it's pretty much just been on cruise control, right? And we've talked about this so many times until we start to seeing the market here in terms of the volume. Look at the volume here on the 22nd of March here, going into April. He said I started declining here, and the more it started declining, what was happening to the stock market? All right, it kept going higher. So I started inching up higher and higher, just kind of pushing itself up higher on that. Now we understand basically what that means, right? We discussed that a lot during our training. Some of you guys in here that y'all know part of our training modules that we're having, we discuss these things, right? What to look for when you start to seeing that, right? And you don't have that kind of I should say a optic value or a viewpoint or vantage point of the sellers pretty much controlling the movement of the market based upon they're using other instruments to kind of be, a backstop, right, to equity just rising, right? Of course, that's being what? The USD dollar, the DOX, and DXY. Gold, of course, gold just been like non-existent of late. It just lately been, getting a little bang up in the month of April because it's been left for dead. It's just been getting destroyed, right? So shout out to gold now trying to get some sneakers on his feet, right, so it can get out there and run with the big dogs, right, because it's been getting beat up. But outside of that, again, the VIX, of course, or the TIVIX, right? If you trade that instrument, which is again, it's the anti-equity market, readout, so to speak, right? A sort of, sentiment indicator for those things that say, hey, I think it's time for the market to kind of take a pause, right? Whatever, right? But a lot of those things, that were very instrumental for the month of March now are being subdued going into the month of April. They're no longer the bigger problem. Of course, in the bond market, right? Of course, the elephant in the room, right, for the month of March was just bonds. Everybody kept talking about bonds, the bonds, the bonds. The bonds is just whatever, right? High yields, right? Inflation, right? The idea that the Feds, literally sat on their hands for the entire month of April and just allowed, the yields of, in this case, to just continuously rise. They said that's what they wanted. That's part of their mandate, to allow the yields to kind of rebalance out or to work themselves through the system where they're saying, okay, we're getting back to some kind of form of not necessarily normalcy, but some point of understanding what we may look like, around maybe say quarter Q2 of this year. Obviously, Q3 will be a really better readout for the markets overall. That being, we don't have any more surprises dealing with the coronavirus, because there's still some skeptical people out there who's thinking that, again, knowing how America dealt with this coronavirus, when the summertime really hits and people, they start hearing all these, vaccine data points that more people getting vaccinated, they're going to start becoming more liberal, right? Because y'all know Americans are the most stubborn people on the planet, right? They're going to get more liberal. They're going to get, again, they're going to start trying to front run this herd immunity mentality, right? It's the idea that if more people getting vaccinated, then I should be safe, right? I can just go party hard like I used to, like it's 1999. I can hit the bars up like there's no tomorrow, whatever, right? Not counting for there still might be, variants of values that are out there that you need to still kind of protect yourself with, right? Or from, I should say, excuse me, right? Because these other strains that are out there are proven to still be a little problem to some of these vaccines. Do not let these people lie to y'all, right? We're still hearing issues with even some of these vaccines that are, again, AstraZeneca, right? Right? Think about that. AstraZeneca just all over the place, right? I mean, the matter of fact, the company that they partner with in terms of BioNTech, right? Man, it's so rough for them. Man, these people that produce it over there, obviously in Europe, them themselves, they don't even want to take that vaccine. That's how crazy. They don't even want. Oxford, Oxford. Yeah, Oxford. I forgot. AstraZeneca, Oxford, whatever. They don't even want to take the vaccine. Right? So again, all the people who are just like, yo, vaccine, okay, yeah, you still gotta understand, all vaccines are not made equal. Stop playing. Right? Stop playing. Right? Get off that, whatever. Realize that, right? There's no two things that are alike. Right? So that's, again, it's becoming a problem. So they're already, trying to fight to get, other vaccines to kind of get, imported in, which obviously there's this kind of scarcity thing, so to speak. But the one that y'all made in-house is not even worth, using yourself, because you don't want to even really trust it, right? So the scientists or the people who are making this up, they don't even really trust this stuff to a degree. How can someone that don't even understand the science and just reading about the science can tell you about why you should be taking it, right? It makes no sense, because again, everything comes with a level of what? Reason, right? Don't just jump out the window, right? There's shades of gray in life. Trust me. There's nothing that's linear, right? There's no straight up, there's no straight down. Sometimes there's what? Some horizontal. Right? Right? Seriously. Right? So again, just saying that, in general, because the vaccine news is still a viable talking point, right? The ideal of getting people, again, back to normal. And so, to me, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion. Like I said, way back in the month of February of last year, I said, if I had to find a company or get behind a company, I feel like they had the most neutral position in this, it would be Moderna, right? And to date, I've been right. Right? They've had the less problems, less issues, right? And the stock in itself has been performing, in relation to like a lot of the other ones out there, better than a lot of the other actors and players out there. I mean, again, you couldn't make this stuff up, as they say, right? Couldn't make this stuff up, right? Not making it up. That's just the facts, right? So that says a lot about where we are, as a whole, right? Where's the market, So in terms of the vaccines, right, and stuff like that, right? If there is a scenario where you need to be like, okay, well, if I really want to pay attention to where the market's, starting to feel confident in terms of getting people back to normalcy, right? We're gonna need people to kind of really get model behind, I should say, like a Moderna, right? Pfizer, so what? It's been hit and miss a little bit with them, but AstraZeneca definitely been garbage, right? I'm just gonna go and say it, right? They just been garbage, right? AstraZeneca, right? But yeah, for the most part, again, Pfizer, then maybe coming in Moderna, right? Johnson Johnson, they've been up and down a little bit with their situation. Obviously, they came in late, but hey, y'all know how this stuff work. Every little bit helps in terms of how they look at it. And keep in mind, none of these vaccines, none of them have been FDA approved. They just been given emergency use authorization. There's a difference. Do not get it twisted. They have not been FDA approved. They have only been given emergency authorization, meaning you have to take this under your own discretion, right? Then you can't sue us. You can't do none of that, right? You have to take this under your own discretion. So again, in doing so, you have to be not like a lot of other people in terms of that, that ignorance and just, I'm just gonna take anything that they got. That's just ludicrous. That's dumb. You got several ones out there. Yeah, if the hospital or the area you in may only have a certain batches of certain vaccine, which they're doing that purposely too, right? Yeah, that's how it is, right? If you just want to jump on out there, then yeah, they're forcing you to take whatever they have. Like that's just dumb. To me, of course, some people like, I can't sit there and play that game, brother. After I got to take my vaccine. If it's in my area, whatever it is, I'm gonna take it. I'm just saying, you still got to do some research too. You still got to be confident in knowing whatever you finna put into your body, literally your body, that's finna bond with your chemical, your pretty much your cellular level. Then yeah, you might want to do a little research on it, and it's not approved. And if you have any adverse conditions, you can't sue nobody. All right, stop playing. Right, we're too old to play that game. Right, we're not little kids at the playground. So I'm just saying, be conscious of that. And that's just saying that no matter how much they're trying to get everybody back to normal, right, so to speak, because the market, I'm tying this all together, of course. The markets obviously wants it, right? The markets obviously wants it. All right, but you still got to make decisions, that's going to be good for what, in my opinion, what's going to be good for your health overall, right? You can't make money if you're sick, right, or you're jammed up with the virus, right? Again, that's why we always talk about health and wealth over here for a reason, right? But again, for the most part, like I said, Moderna, the stock, right, right, the vaccine obviously, again, mRNA, right, mRNA, excuse me, yeah, it's a replication value. It's not the actual virus strain itself, so it's a it's a robot basically, right? It's like nanobots, right? It's a nanobot antiviral vaccine in this perspective, and so you're not actually putting the real actual virus in your body, in essence, in terms of their vaccine that they had produced to try to destroy it, right, or to whatever, beat it back or whatever you want to use. But ultimately, again, I'm just saying from a stock perspective, beyond the science, it has proven to be in this case the most consistent one. And the charts may look like it's just crazy because it's been breaking out, pulling back, breaking back out again, pulling back. But look at the chart. Again, y'all know when we see a chart like this, we know instantly what's going on here, right? When we're establishing the idea of what a uptrend is defined by what? What is an uptrend defined by? Right? When we're thinking about peak to trough, right? Peak to trough. How do we assess an uptrend that a stock is still in an uptrend? Despite, if you buying in way up here, you got caught at the top, and the stock pulled back on you, like, oh man, this stock is garbage, right? But if you look back to the left, what's the garbage about it? If I look back over here, September, November last year, July last year, or even beyond that, I ask you, what's garbage about it? Don't look like garbage to me. It look like it's in a nice clean uptrend, right? It's just that you're buying into euphoric moments and not understanding how the game works, right? Right? You're buying it at the peak, right? Again, the shelves are empty at that point. You hit supply zone, right? You're hitting supply zones up here. That meaning the shelves are already being empty by the time you get to the store. You was late, right? And that means you got to wait for the next restocking period to happen. And that's basically what happens when stocks pulling back. There's a what? There's a supply issue. As simple as that. Again, this stuff not rocket science. It really isn't, right? And so learning how to deal with these markets in that perspective, again, it really help you be really calm and patient when you go out there and start assessing whether or not you want to get into an asset. Right, especially if you like it for a good use case, it has a strong story, value in terms of being able to build up good financials because people obviously see there's a need for it. Again, thinking about Moderna as a whole, again, look where it came from, right? Look where it came from, right? Let's go to let me see, weekly. Oh, that's gonna stretch it out. I know I should have went to trade view. I don't know why I'm sitting there playing around with this. But anyway, we'll go back as far as, let's just say, around, I don't know, what was that round about? Maybe April? No, was that round about May, somewhere around there. May, I guess May. Again, you talking about stock that was around about $61 a share, right? $60 a share. I started buying it in around like 50. Right? I think Sister Monica and a few other people in the group, they were buying it around that same price too, $50-$60 a share. Right? And so again, prepping for the idea that they would be a major player in this in this vaccine race. So again, the stock did not disappoint. So roughly $40, $50, $60, anybody within that window, right? That channel, so to speak, up around 60, down around about 40 something, because it's not going to show it here. And the stock went up and hit a high like what? 178 on this one, and then it went a little higher over here and hit like what? 189. Literally 190. Right? So 60 basis to 190, right? That's what, man, look, seriously? That's over what? That's over what? Near 300% dang there, right? Couldn't make this stuff up. 300% in less than 1 year. Let me repeat, that's less than 1 year. 300% less than 1 year. Again, show me your bank account or your little money market account that's producing, giving you an accrual. Excuse me. Just look. It's almost like seriously laughable at best, right? Your bank's gonna pay you that kind of level on a per annum basis. A 300% gain on your money sitting in the savings. Seriously, like seriously, for real, right? Like really? Right? Nah, yeah. Again, I'm looking at you like this here. Again, if you convince me that your bank gonna pay you a 300% return on your money sitting in the savings account in less than 1 year, I'm gonna have to look at you a little sideways, right? Because again, that's not how this stuff works, right? That's not how this stuff works, right? So let's keep it 100. So again, I'm talking about consistency here and just in the ideal of Moderna. I know I'm kind of going in on Moderna for a reason, but I'm just talking about the ideal of what everybody's excited about. There's always a method to my madness in terms of how I speak about certain things, right? This idea of the reopening, right? The reopening trades, right? Does Moderna in itself has a use case even when America opens back up? Of course, there's still a lot of people that still got to get vaccinated. And they're going to want to have this stuff, on the ready, in supply, if ever needed, right? So it has solidified itself. Again, a lot of, people say that, once you get into pharmaceutical, lane, that's where a lot of money go to die, right? Some of these stocks like Pfizer, money goes there to die, right? It has really no big use case. AstraZeneca, money goes there to die, right? They are strictly in the pharmaceutical side. Then there's pharmaceuticals, right? Then there's what? Biotech, right? Biotech, right? That's a difference, right? They're in the same space in health, but that's a big difference. Biotech is for innovators. They are the innovators that the pharmacy companies turn around and end up buying because they become legacy companies, right? They just want to be controlling, managing values and partners of all these new, cutting edge, leading technology, people who are producing all these, cures or help meats or whatever for, any kind of ailment that's out there, cancers, whatever. The money is in the biotech side. Now it's more riskier down there, but that's where the money is made, right? So again, that's why I say, you think about buying some of these companies like, like a Pfizer or whatever, then yeah, you want to be in the company for only really one reason, for the dividend, right? Because they're not nearly what we consider to be a growth stock. They're not a growth stock, right? They're going to fall within the value side because when they have their heyday or their moment of need, then guess what? They run, right? Or they have, more interest of people looking into them, right? But ultimately, again, in the end, companies like Moderna, again, we even saw that with Novavax, right? These are the type of, again, stocks that you really want to keep your eye on because it really says, if America's going back to so-called some kind of form of normalcy, then it's going to be detailed by, again, some of these positioned type little plays in terms like, they're not having issues with producing and getting those vaccines out there, all right? which I think they're going to use that as the ultimate litmus test, right? They're going to say all the other stuff too, but let's be honest. If people ain't getting vaccinated, then what? You right back where you started at, right? All right, so, whatever. As they say, whatever, right? Whatever, right? And so as of now, again, just again, going back to the S&P 500, I have a target of 4,960 to 410. At that point, that's when you should have either your blow off top, even though it feels like it's a blow off top now. But I think at that point is when you're going to see any kind of level of pullback. Because right now we are building into a rising wedge pattern, which is clear as day here, right? Clear as day here in the S&P 500 here. Matter of fact, let's go over here. And, again, you have to be patient, right? The market is making you wait. Again, I've already assessed this with a couple people that I've been, messaging and emailing, back and forth with here. You're not going to escape this here, right? You see what's going on here because y'all now use my trust the rest of the linear regression band. Very, very methodical. And you see what's going on here, right? This is not rocket science here. This is not rocket science here, guys. You see what's going on here, right? Right? You see what's going on here, right? And again, you just have to be patient, right? Right? I mean, clearly there, it's setting up. But again, the way that the inflows are coming into the market, the way that they're pumping it, and they're killing everybody that's trying to buy puts, you're not going to get that satisfaction or satisfaction or whatever, right? Until we get up at the top of this band. So I've already mapped this out. I mapped this out literally, 3 days ago. Right? Well, 4 days technically, but 3 days ago. And I want to say that because when I saw the way that they gapped the market up like this here, this big massive gap up here that they've yet to fill, right? They've yet to fill this gap here down there to 450 buck level, 450 cents, excuse me. All right, and you gapped up like 4.3, like 3 points, basically 3.3, whatever, 3 points, whatever. And the way that bullish engulfing candle that ensued after the gap up, seriously, that means there's a lot of money coming into the markets, right? That was a lot of money rotating into stocks that were heavily beat up, in this case, tech growth stocks, right? Try to get behind those darling stocks that they like to call them. They call them darling stocks because they have big big books, right? Big financial backings, whatever. Big moats, whatever. And that's what they did. They tried to jumpstart it. They're basically like putting jumper capers, jumper capers, right? To some of these stocks like Google, Amazon, right? Apple, right? Even Boeing, right? Boeing's starting to catch a bid of late, right? That's basically what happened. They try to jumpstart these companies, right? Because they feel like we're close to getting back to opening the economy back up the way that they really want it to open back up. Right, so you're dealing with all that, and again, all this aggression, of people who felt like, okay, the markets are just, whatever, right? Again, I'm saying that for the month of March. But look at the month of March. Look at March, right? March right here, all right, trough, even way below the linear regression band. It's just ugly month. Opening up, coming into the month of March, it was ugly. You topped out around, 397 again. You made a new high. We get it. You pull back, you test the bottom of the band again, kind of broke below it here around about 383. Again, obviously you just established a higher low. Again, we understand the uptrend is still defined by higher lows. Let's not get it twisted, right? It's still higher lows, right? It's still higher lows, right? That's letting you know these are the aspects of support that are now starting to trend value. The market, this bull market as we know it to be, to kind of still hold is wait and go. So even if you have any other pullbacks to kind of fill this gap here is questionable, right? If it can come down that low at this point, even though you kind of went up there and you kind of, hit that block before that older block, if you want to say that or not, or that supply zone or whatever, you've already tested it, right? So this gap here is actually it's indiscretionable, but this one here, it has to get filled. So if anything, if you see this 20 moving average here, how it's kind of slightly creeping up here, it's showing 398. 41 for a reason, right? Because it's kind of parallel to that of where we came from, up around the old highs, up around this point when we gapped up into this, the mean line here or the median line here of the linear regression band, and it's kind of showing you, hey, worst case level of support. That's going to be your worst case level of support. Unless anything crazy happens to really make the markets get shook up, that's going to be your base support. Your base support. Base support. in this latest run, your pseudo support, we talking about pseudo support here. You have pseudo supports all throughout this little, this little move right here in this rising wedge, right? Of course, you got, the 406, right? Everybody waiting on 406, right? And how do we know that? We go to the what? If we run over to the to bar charts, right? And we'll just assess that really quick here. Let's go see how, where all the put buyers are stacked at that are just pretty much worthless at this point. Their puts are just worthless, right? Because they're literally trying to contrarian and trade the market. The market's like, bro, we ain't even about that life over here, right? We trying to go to the upside, right? So really quick, let's run over here real quick, the bar chart. And let's look at this, right? Let's look at why the market is still going up. Again, it's feeding off all these put buyers. It's kind of like it's a small little short squeeze, so to speak, right? Right? In a lot of ways. So, again, I'm finna show you exactly what I'm saying. Now, if y'all can see, y'all, let me see if it's showing over here on YouTube. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're showing. Okay, let me blow this up too. I don't know why. All right, yeah, let's blow this up. So, look at this really quick here, right? Right? You see what's going on here in terms of those put buyers, right? What's going on over Brandon? What's going on over Divine in the building? What's going on over Ramsey? Peace, power, and profit to you, gentlemen. Just got a chance to look at the YouTube. Sorry about that. I'm going in a little bit, right? Trying to get all the information before I get off, right? But really quick, so look at S&P 500 here in terms of these are the expiring puts that are going to expire today. Worthless, unless the market do a 180 and just dump. Right now, again, I'll leave that to all you guys out there to make your own decision, because this is not my, this is not financial advice. These are just my opinions. I'm saying we know we're entering into that rising wedge. I'm kind of giving you my targets. I'm saying, right, and I mapped this out literally about 3 or 4 days ago. These are my targets. Again, I could be wrong, and that's fine. I don't have a problem being wrong, right? I'm trying to do like anybody, right? Learn how to make sure I assess, my trading aspect, not my investment, my trading aspects in a more proper and sound fashion. These are my targets, right? These are my targets. Again, map this out 3 or 4 days ago, right? 4960 between that and 410. That's the top, up near the top of that linear regression band, right? They're gonna try to push it up there before they over with. Anything above that, that's your blow off top. Get excited, and then the blow off top will literally put you at or around about 410.30-ish. Anywhere around 410.30-ish, it's going to be definitely blow off top. That's when you might have one more big spike. It might even hit like 411 and change. And then after that, once it tapers out and you see that kind of pause up there, because right there the RSI is sitting at 70, right? You still got, strength on the squeeze momentum in terms of it's sitting at, around about 10.8, around about 10.8 or 11. On the squeeze momentum, right? That means it's definitely trending towards, peak point of what? Inflow, right? What I mean by peak point or peak performance aspect of inflow, meaning at this point, every dollar that's been sitting on the sideline that want to participate in the market is buying up this ETF. They're not necessarily buying a lot of the individual stocks, because that's why they've been playing the market all week. They've just been buying the ETFs. If y'all been watching the market thoroughly, y'all been seeing that. The individual stocks, unless they had some own particular news, whatever, anybody really been trading them? They've been trading the ETLs. Smart money know where to go park their money and be safe. They want to have that protection of other stocks, laggards and and bangers to balance out that trade. They don't want to be sitting lopsided in one trade and the trade going retarded. Again, a la Tesla. Look what Tesla been doing. Tesla been getting good news for the last 7 days. What the stock did? Literally a whole lot of nothing. The latest push that it got was based on those delivery numbers. We get it, right? We know that it was bound to get some kind of little pop at some point. But for the most part, the stock can't even hold 700. It can't even hold 700, right? So people that's been trying to buy these 750 and 730, calls in the Tesla business have been getting just robbed. I've been talking about that ever since last 2-3 weeks. I said, people gonna get their stimulus checks, and they're gonna try to run to them stocks that they did last year that worked when they were able to do that. And you can put like $1,200 of your stimulus check in the Tesla back at that time when we first got it, because everybody was running the Tesla, and them that $1,200 turned into 5 figures. Not lying. We saw a lot of people that turned their $1,200 stimulus check into 5 figures. Some people even 6. Right? They just went dolo on some of those type of stocks that had that kind of value, and they proved to be right. Again, Tesla went to $2,500 a share. $2,500 a share from like $300. Couldn't make this stuff up. All you had to do is buy, again, a leap call buy, because there was a lot of people doing. They bought leap call buys. Some people even bought like a year out, and they were buying like the $600 call strike, $700 call strike in Tesla at that time when it was trading at 300 and something. Not only did it clear that, it went on to hit $2,500 a share. Are you kidding me? See, it's that kind of stuff. So right now, again, Tesla just trading water. But anyway, long story short. So like I said, 406, everybody waiting on 406. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Right? So that way you'll be like, well, what are you talking about? Well, there you go, right there. This is intraday. People still buying it right now, intraday. Right? 32,000 contracts thus far at the 12 o'clock hour. They came in for 406. What's interesting is not so much the intraday, because you got people buying heavy at 58, because them day traders there is buying it, up here at 49, 48 puts, right? That's intraday traders. What's interesting is the open interest. Look at the open interest stacked at 406. That's going to expire worthless today unless they roll over those put buys. If you even think about want to roll over that over, because you ain't gonna have much left over if you already done bought it, right? Meaning yesterday, you're underwater right now in those puts. So the market is paining, is levying and paying on bearish traders right now, because everybody again is running to the ETLs, not the individual stocks. That's why the SPY has just been going up every single day and been gapping up every day near the end of the day. I've seen this picture like over and over like a million times. I know when the market gets like this, what exactly to do. Sit on your hand or buy you a call. At least buy for at least 3 days out. Don't try to buy the intraday call. Hold it for 3 days. Right? Assess the channel that you're trading within, the confinements of it. Buy it 3 days out, meaning at least a minimum of 3 days out, and just sit on it. And that's what's winning right now. Those calls are banging, because everybody expect the market to come down, right? That's why they're getting obliterated right now, because the inflow money is coming in from money managers and people like that. They're sitting in cash. Again, that's why Ray Dalio just recently had a conversation. It was like, okay, they still on that cash and trash stuff. They realize that, because they feel like, okay, we got to jumpstart the tech sector, right? We got to get Apple pumping. We got to get Amazon pumping. We got to get Google pumping, right? Facebook, whatever. Right? Not rocket science. Open interest is sitting at 47,000 contracts. Those contracts right there are dead money right now. Dead. Right? Because you got ahead of yourself. Right? So that's what I'm talking about here. You're going to get your chance to get these puts in, but I guarantee you, not before this market completes its mandate. Not before these market makers run this thing up until it hits that true supply zone. Right? And so no matter how you try to, again, front load the market or time the market, again, I've been busy anyway this week, so I ain't had no choice to kind of sit there, kind of set trades and just watch them, from cruise control, right? My calls that I bought, right? I've been doing what we call a 3-for-1. Right? Y'all have heard me speak on that before. Sometimes my strategy that I use. Some people say, oh, you could do like a strangle, and that's just kind of dead and all that. But I like to be a little more methodical in my approach. So I've been doing what we call a 3-for-1. Right? For every 3 calls that I buy, I at least have 1 put protection value on the back side of it, because the strength is still to the upside. Things that are strong always tend to get stronger, especially when you had a new high. Anytime you make an all-time new high, especially in a product or a ticket like the S&P 500, you best believe, right? Not only are American market, participants happy, but other people from other nationalities who trade our markets are happy too, because they know that's where the money is really at in terms of the markets. They would rather trade that ETF than to go out there and try to find the individual companies. So everybody ran to the SPY. Some people ran to the Dow. Of course, the Dow been getting a little bump up. It's been up and down because of Boeing and many others. Right? For the most part, everybody ran to it, to the SPY. Right? Right? Because again, the John Deere obviously was kind of, trading water a little bit because of the infrastructure bill. Now it's starting to kind of pick up a little bit. That was hurting the Dow a little bit, the Dow Jones. Right? We already know what small cap been doing. Small cap been all over the place. It's small cap. What do you expect? Right? Right? A lot of penny flippers that hang out in the small cap, the Russell, the IWM. Right? Not rocket science, but the SPY, forget about it. Whatever, right? Forget about it. So there you go, right there. That's your sign right there. It don't take us, look at it. It ain't hard to see what's going on here. This right here, this is money that the market makers finna collect right now. They finna collect all this premium right now because they got these people here boxed and locked in. They can't do nothing but sit there and watch these little, puts go to what? Basically go to zero, or they try to, cover what little bit they can. And when they get to covering, the faster they get to covering these lost puts here, right? What's gonna happen to the SPY? It's gonna squeeze. It's gonna squeeze a little higher. Again, old school, good old fashioned short squeeze. Not at the level that you used to in your little penny stock, but in terms of the SPY, that's a short squeeze, buddy. You best believe that. What's going on over Rich B? What's going on, Ilba Monica? Peace, power, and profit to you, awesome individuals. Go subscribe to Sister Monica channel, her YouTube channel, that is. As they say, do not think twice, whatever. Go subscribe to her channel, right? Build up that channel because she deserves it, and y'all already know what it is, right? So, right, what's going on over Rich B? Peace, power, and profit to you, ballers in the house, right? It's Friday. We trying to get paid. Some of y'all ain't got no job. Y'all finna get high today. High on this market, right? Y'all finna get high on this market, right? Y'all ain't got no job. Y'all finna get high on this market right along with your brother, right? Because this is what we do, right? So again, these are your targets. So again, I should have, man. I know I already say if for the fifth we all be drunk, but that's why I know I should have posted that early in the week. I just been so busy, but I wanted to kind of present to everybody what my strategy was. My strategy was to fold 9, 16, 410. Matter of fact, I posted it actually over there in on Stock Twits. Matter of fact, where it at? I'm finna show y'all because see, Joker be like, man, what you talking about, bro? Y'all know me. I like to bring them receipts out. I love bringing them receipts out on the Joker, right? When they get to trying to challenge us, right? I bring them receipts out on the Joker, right? Hold up, where are we at? Yeah, right here. Yep. So really quick here. Yep. Let me do this really quick here. I got to save that because this is important too. This little screenshot I did with that, and I'll revisit that later for some of the people that's in our training. Right? I got this little diagram, whatever. I was having this conversation with a guy early in the week. Matter of fact, hold up. God dog it. 1 second. Forgive me, guys. 1 second. All right. Let me go over here. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. So, hold up. I'll do this here to. Here we go. 1 second. 1 second. Just trying to make sure I get this thing up here. So I can do this here for the fam. So y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Right? Y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Alright. So you know who I am in this perspective here. Alright, so this is early in the week. Now again, I was already mapping this out before that too, but this is one conversation I had with one guy. Concerning just that what we're talking about. So just y'all know how we roll, right? You have to be patient. You have to let the market work for you, because if not, you're gonna be in trouble, right? You're gonna be in trouble. I just you got to be when I'm saying it, because I know a lot of people like man, I'm just ready, right? I'm ready to kind of capture all this this premium here. But you still have to realize the rules of engagement. Rules of engagement tells you what? You still be patient first, right? Until you start actually seeing what? The outflow starting to kind of pick up. If the outflow is not there, then what can you do? Right? You can't do nothing. Right? So this is going back on the 6th, even though I had the conversation before then. But look here. See? Hold up. Let me see. Oh, I can't. Can I draw? Oh, yeah, I can. Hold up. Right here. All right. So this guy was like, man, I think we're going to, see 395, 396 on the daily for next week, right? And so that's, again, going back to some of the areas I was talking about. If you break 398, that's just whatever, right? You talking about you going back down towards base support, right? Now I was like, it's plausible, right? It's plausible, but I don't see that happening with the level of info that I was watching, right? So it's a gap fill is viable, right? To shake the nerves of the call buyers or the 410 call, because they keep in mind, the 410 call buy was being bought up Monday. They were buying those 410 calls on Monday. Here it is Friday, guys. And the stock sitting at 49, 30, 40 something. I was starting to see the inflow. That's why I like, okay, yeah, that's a big swing there. You talking about 410 to 395, 396. You play that middle area around 398. Yeah, it's closer to 395, 396 than 410, but I guarantee you got new inflow money coming in because, again, the month of March was already what? A degradation on what? On sellers. You exhausted most of the sellers. It wasn't nothing left but what? Buyers. Yeah, not rocket science, right? So you say, yeah, 410 is where I see the juicy fruit, where calls go to die, right? He was feeling good about his puts, right? I was like, yeah, I agree, right? If you buy, that early, but you still got to assess the ideal that the momentum is going into what? Coming into the ETLs, right? Until the trend was starting to establish itself in terms of spot, right? So, again, I'm like, okay, yeah. I still see bad resistance, right? Puts at or around 4960, 410 supply zone. Anything beyond that will blow off top status. Future will be moot tonight purposely, right? Again, this was back even on that was on the 7th on that one, right? A couple days ago. So the future markets have been pretty much been idle all week long. It has been going nowhere. They've been going nowhere, right? For a reason, again, purposely. I've been watching. I was like, I've seen this before. The Feds are on cruise control, and we know why, because they've been buying what? What has been causing? All right, let me ask y'all this question here, right? Because y'all know I'll never miss a moment to have a good little teaching session, right? Right? What has caused the market to be in such a demonstrative uptrend without it having these kind of whipsaw moments? There's only one factor that's been causing it. Anybody know what has been causing the market to be on cruise control, basically, for the most part? Anybody. You can type your answer in the back chat. You can throw it on the Facebook side if you watch on that side. I'm just curious, right? Because we have to be better assessors of the market. As soon as we start to realize how we should be, position ourselves, because a lot of us are still learning, I get it. But that's why we go hard, right? That's why we go hard in training. And we canvas a lot of these things, right? We leave no leaf uncovered, no stone unturned for a reason. Because if you do, you're going to become cannon fodder, right? You're going to be, collateral damage. Trying to front run, again, a market that can remain more irrational the longer than you can remain what? Solvent. You got to understand how to read trends. That's why my conversation is always surrounded around what? Right? Exactly why I talk about this a lot. People like, man, I'm tired of hearing that brother talk about that. But guess what? Get excited, because once you realize how this game works, you're going to start saying, okay, I see what you're talking about now. That's how it always happens in most cases. They just like, yeah, you was right, bro. Right? Like that guy right there that I was showing you in that message and correspondence that we're having back and forth. Right now, he like, yeah, you right. Right, you right. You was right. Right? That 4960 is 410. You right. That blow off top. Yep. So I've been doing 3-1. 3-to-1. My 3-to-1 schematic for the week. Three calls, one put for every 3 calls. And I've just been cruise controlling. I've been on cruise control all week. And I've been buying the same strike points or pivot points that everybody loading up in, in terms of puts that they're trying to trade the market against. See how that work? Right? See how that work? Right? I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. Right? I see the weight. Right? Matter of fact, let me show you. I'm going to show you something. Let's go even down to the let's even just show the 400, right? Let's show the $400 strike puts, right? 'Cause we know that's where the gap fill at, right? We already know that's where the gap fill at, right? Look at here. Man, you couldn't make this stuff up. Couldn't make this stuff up. Look right here. I'm finna show y'all. But you're gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all gonna learn today. Y'all know why y'all know how I am. Right? Right? Y'all know exactly how I am. Look at that $400 strike put right there. Y'all see what the price of that put by right now? It's worth only 1 penny. Early in the week, that put buy right there probably was worth, let's say Monday, it was probably worth at most, let's say maybe $100 and some odd dollars. Maybe near 130, 150, 40, 50 bucks. Somewhere around there, give or take. It might have been a little more, give or take. Right now, it's at what? $1, $2. What does that tell you? right? Again, that was from the gap up, right? The gap up going into this week. Getting the week started, I should say. Look at the open interest. That's the key part. Remember I say, watch that open interest, right? When days had already passed by, you always go back and check that open interest, because the open interest is showing you what people still sitting at, right? Meaning people who have yet to sell or take the loss, this is where they're still sitting at. They're still sitting at that $400 strike put that they bought. Right now, they're worthless. Gonna cost you about $1, $2, right? You can get some, you can put some gas in the car with that. Couldn't make this stuff up, right? Couldn't make this stuff up, guys. So that's the important. So, my chart acting crazy here. Hold up, what's going on here? What's going on? What's going on? Okay. All right. Get back down there. What you doing? Yeah. So again, this is how come I know, because I study every aspect of the market. I don't get excited when I see one data analytical readout or some kind of stat that kind of favors my bias, right? I mean, y'all know me. I'm always saying you got to remove the implicit biases outside of your main frame when it comes to investing and trading. You can have biases, but make sure they're not implicit. Implicit bias will make you lose money. Oh, the market got to come down. Does it? Says who? Says who? I'll wait. Now you got to track that money. You got to be checking those MOC, closing, market on close, sales and buys. Pretty much for the entire week, the MOC been what? To the buy side. Meaning they buying right before the bell closes. In most cases, but they've been buying throughout the entire day. What it really mean throughout the entire day. But right before the bell close or sound, in come a lot of what? In come a lot of buyers. The front loaded for the next day. Exactly what it did yesterday. It was just almost like just obvious how much they manipulated it yesterday. It was just so funny how they did it yesterday. I was like, man, look at this tip. But I love these people. These people are greedy. But Wall Street, one greedy behind. Boy, these people greedy. Market just spiked up out of nowhere. I mean, it's literally went from like 408, 50 something, all the way up to like 409, 30 something. In one jump. Soon as like 4 o'clock hit, 401, 402, 410, that thing was up near 409, 30 something. I said, yeah, that's right. Run that thing up a little bit higher. Get these calls paid. Get them paid. Because everybody's trying to what? Control and trade the market now. They're getting destroyed. Look at that. See how I say it's heavy there? Open it and see how it's heavy at the 406? I ain't making this stuff up. Y'all know me. I go pull out them receipts on the joker. They ain't finna challenge me. Right? They not going to challenge me. So that's the problem. So now that we ID the problem, you need to learn how to do what? Trade within the confinements of what the market is what? Giving you. As we say, the rules of engagement. You're not going to force the market to do what you want to do, especially with your level of money. Unless you got, again, billions to turn the market. Even that's risky because, again, you're going to have people out there that say, what, if they come get your money, they got big money. They say, oh, we got a fool out here today. Let's go rob him. Right? So that's why, again, see right here? I ain't making this up. That's the blowout top. The blowout top around 410, 30-ish. Right? The top side, because it went up a little bit since, I posted that target around 4960-ish. Right? It's sitting at around around that point right there. Right? There, literally, those are your target. Matter of fact, let me do this right here. Let me do this. Do it right here. Let me do this right here. Just for a lot of people that may be popping up and whatever. Right? Hold up. Let's do. Let's do that white line. All right. At or above that. Above that, definitely run into 410, blow off top. You can get up as high as again around about 411 and some change if they blow it off. Right now it's at 12 o'clock. So puts right now are dead. If you didn't sell whatever little bit you got, they dead. You in the lunchtime hour. You was inside the lunchtime hour. They got the market on cruise control as it has been all week. See I just pinging out the bottom? See right here? Straight line almost there. Right? Bottom of that little band there, held support, gap, right back up, gapping up more. So that's the short-term gap up. That's why I say everybody playing with that 406 because guess what? That's where it gapped up from. Even on, going back on the 7th, right? So that's why 406 is heavy. It's like, if nothing else, you should be able to gap fill at least the fold 6. Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying it may not happen at the very end of the day, but guess what? At that point, the money gone. Money is dead, right? Dead. So I'm not going to change my strategy of 3-to-1 or 2-to-1. I'm down to 2-to-1 now, right? Until I see that 4960-ish ever hit. 4950, all right, maybe. 4960, yeah. You got my attention. 410, oh, I'm definitely going to do like reverse that. I'll be doing like 2-for-1. I have 2 puts for every 1 call, right? And we hit like 411, I'm going 3-to-1. I have 3 puts for every 1 call by at that point. The one will be outside the little regression band on the daily chart. RSI sitting down here at 70. You see it clear as day. Momentum squeeze indicator sitting there around about a 10.8, 10.7, right? And I know, look at the decline in volume. See the decline in volume right here? That decline in volume tells me a couple things, right? Number one, we at what? Almost at peak inflow, right? We almost at peak inflow, meaning everybody that had a couple dollars or some nickels or some change that they could find on their couch, they done pulled it out and put it into the market, right? Could make this stuff up. See it right there? You see it there clearly. Descending volume, and the market is still what? Squeezing up. We've seen this so many times. That's why you got a rising wedge in the actual flow. In the actual stop, and that what? Falling wedge in the what? In volume. Falling wedge in volume. Actually, when it comes to a point where it's kind of what thins out, obviously, always most cases, right? When you have such a demonstrative move like this, end up having what? A falling stock price at some point. Going to start having people taking profit. True story. True story. So again, you guys see what's going on here. What's going on, family? Hypnosis, Dover Fiend, right? What's going on over Chris? All right, see you pop back in there, right? So again, this is how you make money. This is how you don't let your emotions get ahead of your wallet. The worst thing an investor or a trader, I should say, 'cause I know I'm speaking to a lot of the traders today, because the investment side of the house knows how to play ball, right? Well, you should. If not, you need to kind of sign up for that mentor course, right? Or just come hang out with us when we kind of going in on these little forums, right? But this is why you have to be patient. The hardest thing for anybody to do when it comes to being in a position where you can make your money like this is to learn how to be patient and sit on your hands. Let the market work for you. Once you've seen the trend established and they weren't going to let it fall, you should say it right there, okay, let me not try to box the market, right? You're going up against Mike Tyson right now in his prime, right? Well, especially back on Tuesday. Tuesday, you was like, okay, forget about it, right? It was clear that, no, this dog ain't going to hunt, as they say, right? So this is how you stay protected. This is how you stay sane, right? Emotionless, and you just trade with the market what offers you. You trade with the market offers you, right? No secret here, guys. No secret at this point. So the calls, I got one left. I'm gonna sell that here again. If we can breach this 410, it's going to 4960. I'll sell that one. I already sold one. I'm in the 430. I sold the ones from yesterday into the close yesterday. That left me with 2 today. I sold one at 4930 or 4920-ish. And I'm going to hold this last one for this push to 4960-ish. Because I just knowing these savages, right? These some savages, right? Stop playing. These some savages. Y'all know these some savages, right? When the market want what it want, it's going to get what it want, right? So, yeah, they're going to make that push. They're going to try to make that one last little push. If we top out around 4930-ish, okay, that's 30 cents shot from that 4960 gun line. I could dig it, right? But the only way I would be confident in knowing that I know that's, we there now is when I start seeing the the outflow pick up, and the inflow obviously start to decrease even more. Even though we're already about there, because the falling wedge volume is obviously denoting what? Exhaustion. The market is exhausted. Again, the RSI sitting at 70, exhausted. Again, squeeze momentum sitting at 10.8, it's exhausted a little bit, but that don't necessarily mean it's going to stop. right? That don't mean it's gonna stop. These are just different tea leaves, right? I'm just checking different tea leaves, right? But their goal is their goal. They got goals just like everybody else has goals. What make you think they don't? What make you think fund managers, banks, people like that don't have goals too? Seriously? So your goal is more superlative to theirs? If you're trying to counter trend what they're trying to do with their money, and if their money bigger than your money, who's gonna win that fight? Right? It's like Cat Williams said. You ever seen a Chihuahua fight a Rottweiler? It is not pretty. That's basically what your puts look like right now, right? A Chihuahua trying to fight a Rottweiler. That is not pretty. Good look. I'm a boy, Damon. I'm a boy. Friday, shout out to Friday. Don't go out there and try to be a hero, right? Don't go out there and try to be Captain Save the market from itself in this case, because you're gonna try to buy puts and try to preempt it. It's not gonna work, right? I'm just saying that's what the market is showing us at this point. So there you go. So we talked about Moderna, we talked about S&P. Of course, again, we already know what's going on with Tesla. Y'all know what it is. I already kind of spoke about that. It is what it is. That's why Tesla doing this right here, right now. Exactly why Tesla doing this right now. Now, again, for what it's worth, yeah, Tesla's still in the uptrend, obviously. And people who bought, again, the $700 car strike, even today, well, they bought it yesterday into today, decimated. They bought something today. Matter of fact, I can go show you. Decimated. Again, this is the last of the people that had their stimulus money that's still yet to get their stimulus check that's going the dust, grounded in the dust. That was going to think they was going to kind of get that lift off in Tesla. And all this good news that was coming out with Tesla. You're not going to be able to get a chance to get this Tesla bump into going into earnings. I'm going to tell you that right now. The secret is out at this point. Tesla, you see that's why I got that yellow line right there? That's a gun line. Well, it's a pseudo gun line, but it's a gun line, right? It's going to trade in or around from that point up or down, right? Now, you got a peak around about what? 710. No secret there. Of course, you see it in multiple areas, right? Up around here, right? Up around here. Up around 710, right? No secret there, right? Bottom over here, top right here. Even going back this candle over here in this area here, right? You see what's going on here, right? So that's the window that Tesla had to contend with. Now, Tesla's struggling right now. It's not even participating in the run that the S&P 500 is doing right now. Why? Anybody? Why is Tesla not benefiting off the run that the S&P 500 is doing right now? Why? Now, it's a part of the S&P 500 now. It's included in the S&P 500 index. But why is it not running on all this good news? Upgrades, delivered numbers, the robo-taxes stuff. I'm going to talk about that later, though. The robo-taxi stuff starting to come into fruition. It's starting to kind of materialize itself now with this whole Las Vegas project, this loop that they built in Las Vegas, was going to be large in life, right? And they're going to copy that around other cities around the nation when that really pop off. We'll talk about that on another conversation because I need to speak directly to that when we do. China starting to kind of get on board a little bit. It's starting to ramp up production. All this good news in Tesla, and the stock is doing what? Nothing. Why is Tesla fumbling right now? Right? Why is Tesla struggling right now? Right? And some of y'all, definitely know. Right? Oh, because you say because of tech. You say, Brad say, well, DMX no maybe being that. Man, shout out to our brother DMX. Hope he get through this, man. I know it's tough, man. But yeah, man, y'all know how this stuff go. We need to get behind these, these financial literacy bandwagons, man, because that's where the money's at. You want to fight anything or any kind of object, discriminatory values, you got to find a way to get your bag. Because you can't fight broke. Just be honest, right? You got to have some resources. Right, so we have to be, we even late, right? That's what's crazy about it. We late to a lot of this, right? But that's all right. We on time in terms of, at least we still have time at our disposal. So we just got to use it thoroughly and properly. But ultimately, again, that's what we're here for, right? That's why we're here, right? So, but ultimately, tech could be a part of it to a degree, over Chris. But just to be clear, it's because we're dealing. Oh, he already passed? Oh, man. I thought he was defending, but just over there. I guess I might have been a day late. I could be a day late. I ain't gonna say that. All right, I could be a day late, but I know that the defender was coming in, and they was by his side. All right, we'll talk about that later too, because I know that's a touch there. All right, shout out AIP to our brother DMX. AIP to our brother DMX. You know what I'm saying? AIP, I mean ascend in power. Ascend in power. All right. We don't rest a person's power. Well, that's just me. Right? Yeah, people that rest in power, rest in peace. I go AIP, ascend in power, because at that point you at the highest level of at your being, whatever. But anyway, yeah, AIP to our brother DMX. All right. So yeah, but Over Brandon, you said prices. And actually, they just did that today though. That news just came out today. Over Brandon, they raised the price of the Model 3. They actually did that today. It might have came out yesterday after hours to a degree, but the news is obviously today, right, to a degree, right? Where the market is always trading it, that rise in price. Of course, that's good for us margin, but they had to do it because they've been kind of raising the price, lowering the price. They've been going back and forth, right? So for the most part, again, Tesla as a whole is basically a straight line almost, like, even though it don't look like it, but when you think about how Tesla trade, because it does have a ATR around about $30-something, right? So it's gonna have that kind of rally up, rally back down, whatever. But right now it's starting to tighten down. It's starting to tighten down a little bit here. If we just put the Bollinger Bands on this thing right now, clearly you'll see that what Tesla's doing right now. Clearly, you'll see that what Tesla's doing right now is starting to show some some strength, right? It's starting to show some strength here, right? And we'll use that just as we'll take it all the way down to the moving average line, right? You see what's going on here, right? Clearly you see that there, right? Again, if you draw the line even from way back here at that point where it began to launch at the bottom of the negation band, it's still going to put you kind of right around the point there. So it just started to tighten down. That's all Tesla's doing is tightening down right here. Man, he just died. Now, you know what? The news just came out. It just came out on my cell phone. I just seen it now. Yep. CNBC just put that out. Or was it CNBC? Yeah. He passed away. Man, AIP. No, that was Smart View, not CNBC. AIP over DMX. Man. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely post some libations for that brother. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna post some libations for our brother. Definitely want to make sure we acknowledge that value, because again, now this stuff people are very influential, and so he was definitely one of the iconic influential rappers out there, regardless of people say lifestyle, life choice, or whatever. Ultimately, in the end, there's always a value of positivity that brother brought. He employed people, he gave people opportunities, and so many other opportunities within that. Again, he always spoke from a place of conscience, even though he was out there, living his life. But most part, he kind of kept a very, direct message in a lot of what he did. So yeah, shout out to our brother DMX, right? Again, true level of what we consider to be some of the old school rappers that came out of that real, you're right, brother Ramsey, real level of masculinity, right? We don't have too many masculine rappers out there like we used to back in the day, like your old Ice Cubes and people like that nature, right? Now you got these kind of cross-ups, right? Nothing against them, right? But again, that's just not my cup of tea, right? I wasn't cut from that cloth. If I need me, an alpha male mindset to kind of speak to the alpha male in me, right? So, those rappers, they kind of what they call last of a dying breed, as they like to say. Hey, hey, it is what it is. It's rough out there. All right, so CG3 said Tesla in the downtrend. Yeah, I mean, clearly you can say it's trending in around that point. So that's why Tesla's not been lifting off. And everybody's been trying to trade their calls, right, begin to destroy it. They begin to destroy it. I'm not going to touch Tesla until I know, right? Again, RSI still, in the day, look at the RSI still sitting at 50 on the RSI. Look at the volume. You see the volume right here? The volume started to taper off, right? It's tapering off, right? And it's what? It's more red than it is green, and it's descending. So this is the opposite of when you look at the SPY, when the volume is what? It's green, and tapering off, right? And it's not going up though. This is red and tapering off. So that means at some point it's going to bottom out and it's going to exhaust the sellers, and then Tesla going to make a rise. See how that work? Going into earnings again, yeah, you have the ability to potentially give or take, potentially going into earnings, right? We'll use that last lower high right there as a benchmark. You have the potential to go into earnings. If worst case scenario to be around about 630, right? That's worst case, but it can just go sideways from here, and stay within this trend. That's a break above 710. It can stay between that window where it's at now, 770 to 790-ish area, give or take. $20 within that, and then again from there up to what? The $20 to the upside of 710, right? So you got those windows there. So 730 to 750, or in this case 750, 760 area to 70 90. So 30 in that case, I guess 680, and then from there up towards 710. So that's how we'll split this in half, or this pie. I would do 630-ish to around 660-ish. Right, because that's at or around the bottom of the 20-day moving average here in a straight line here, and then I do that to 690-ish, right, or 680-ish, somewhere right between 685, 686. It stayed around that area for a good little way, as you can see here clearly here, right. So the top of that is still sitting at around about 690-ish, and then from there up towards that 610 area, right. That's literally how I would do that going into earnings. Because my opinion, again, it's too soon, but the fact that they came in higher than expected under their production numbers, I mean, really high. The goal was that they was going to produce no more than around about 160 or something. They beat that, again, handsomely, right? So, and they got some other stuff they've been doing lately too to kind of add around China, with the production over there too, in terms of getting some vehicles kind of moved about. We know the whole issue going on with Europe, whatever, over there, but for the most part, it's going to be dependent upon his guidance. Of course, the guidance should pick up and be a little more better going into Q2. But I'm very, very reluctant. I want to hear what they're going to say in the guidance. But yeah, it has potential. If it comes down in around this 630 area, I'll take a call in the earnings on Tesla. Because at that point, I know it should be thinned out. Between 640, 650, I'll do like a 1-for-1. I'll do a strangle. I do that. I definitely strangle Tesla going into earnings. I sure would at around these prices here. Because the only thing you guys are bottom around what? Okay, 5, 6. Okay, you drop, stay in the point. Okay, I can dig it. Add around the 20-day moving average here. I can get it. Right. That's where my put would come in. Come in handy. But upside in that case, because you got all this kind of strength consolidating down to the downside, it's tightening it down like a pressure cooker. Yeah, you can easily get a little pop here, and that you can run up towards the middle of this little aggression band. Around about 770, 780-ish, give or take, right? If nothing else, a good earnings pop around about 780, just went back to a level of support where it was before. Right here, see right here, back on the February 17, 18, 19 area around there. See right, this kind of established a level of support there before it gapped down. Back here, it rocketed off from that point there when it went up on January 7th, went up into this channel area here, and went up and hit that high up here. So again, yeah. Definitely have to break out above this area here, this chatter area here, take out those guys, and then you can make some moves. But I mean, that's what Tesla looked like to me. So that's on the 5th of May, right? Give or take the days if they're correct. So let's say 5th of May, real quick. Let's do this real quick, and then we get ready to wind it down a little bit. Thank y'all for tuning in and being patient. Again, AIP to our brother DMX again on the way. Since we just got that news, it just popped up in my news feed too. So AIP to that brother. Alright, so really quick here. Let's go see if we can test this theory a little bit, right? Or this thesis, right? It's going to be a theory or a thesis, one way or the other, right? As of right now, it has some probability, but we'll see. Alright, so let's go. Alright, let's go out towards May. Alright, they have earnings on the 5th. Right? On the 5th. Right? So, let's see if that 770 call by at around 760, 770 area is getting some volume, right? So, and we even got 800. Ooh, boy, look at that. Guys buying that right now. Right? So you got a little bit. So 770-ish. That's why I said 770, 780-ish. So you got a little bit. Look at open interest sitting at that 780 and at 142. Right? See? That's how you come back and kind of see where it, and again, validate some of that. There you go, right there. You got a little bit sitting at around that area. 780, 142 on open interest, 84 on the 770, 760 in at 190. So right in that strike zone. That $20-$30 window. Typically how Tesla trade. 750, obviously, right? 750. Right. But you'll be paying almost near $1,700 for that contract. As opposed to paying, again, at around at 770, 13, 780, 11, then right at 1,000, around about 790. Right. So you kind of coming in anywhere around this little point here, like about, you pay $1,300 now for that into earnings. Now, of course, I wouldn't buy it now. All right. All right. That's what I'm saying. This thing need to kind of get through this week, going into next week, and see if we can get some more, a viewpoint of what it's looking like going into. It's getting ready to set up for its earning. And then, that call buy or that, whatever put buy start to materialize. But as of now, you got people out there jumping out there already early right now. They're jumping out there. Look at them, 43 today, bought the 750s. All right, 14. They might get a little bump next week. Who knows? But if the SPY has a blow off top today, which obviously seems like it wants to do it, then chances are the SPY ain't gonna be crashing next week. If it starts to crash early in the week next week, and the SPY just gonna be, and Tesla just gonna be ripping to the upside, right? Unless they have some crazy good news, it seems like all the good news been priced into Tesla stock, then chances are Tesla gonna go down right along with the SPY, right? True story, right? I'm already like, now think about it, right? Think about it. If it ain't rocketing with the SPY right now going up and the SPY rocketing, if the SPY rolls over early in the week next week, you think Tesla gonna rocket up when everything is kind of pulling back? About that. Right? About that. You know what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted, right? Let's not get it twisted. Right? So that's why I say you got to be comfortable and patient. Right? You got to be patient, and you got to be understanding what's going on. Right? So let's just be honest. When you make your assessment, you make sure you check all the the pertinence properly. So look at it, Tesla still pulling back. We're just sitting at 677, it's at 6, and the SPY is going up right now. SPY is going up right. SPY sitting at 4951. Again, we're gonna hit this 4960 area. Y'all look at y'all. I'm finna prove y'all I'm about that life. I'm gonna prove to y'all I'm about that life. 4950. We going. See, we headed there. I ain't making this stuff up, man. Am not, right? Am not. Anybody that got puts right now, give me a knife, right? You're gonna need a knife real quick here, because you about to, it's finna get real. It's finna get real in the field. They gonna try to put, look, all right. I'm just waiting for that 4960 area to hit. I'm gonna sell this, well, I'll say at that point I may put you can't put a trade stop option on the put buy on an option, but when I say that, meaning I'll start to kind of plan my stop loss at around that point. Now, even though I got one on right now, right, to come down, well, in this case here, you talk about what the market opened up at around about 4830, 48, 40ish in that area where it didn't open up around there. It kind of pulled in that area, pulled back into those areas during the pre-market, whatever. But ultimately, when I'm looking at this here, I'm saying, okay, well, I got the 49 clicking up here at this point. If I want to test a level of a stop loss to kind of make sure I lock in some kind of, I'm still up, but I will say around about 408 ish, 408.75, 408.80 ish. That would be my last resort, stop loss. But as of now, it's on cruise control, so it's just no need for me to do anything but sit here and watch it. That's all I'm doing, just sit here and watch it. All right, and so I don't have anything else out there that I need to be worried about. Again, a couple of earning plays I play, I'm done. After I log off here, I got maybe a couple seconds to myself before I got to go on what they call duty hours this evening again, right? So I might go get me a little fishing in. Y'all know how I go. We rained a little bit here in the D.C. region, right, the DMV. All right, get me about 2-3 hours of fishing in. Just watch this stuff on the boat, right? Watch my cell phone from the boat, right? Let the money pile up, or let it just kind of take a little bit off, but it's still gonna be up one way or the other. And then right before the close, I'll set me a trade, what they call my traps, right? I set my traps, right? My snares for Monday. As simple as that. All right? But they're gonna try. So you hit 409. Now you have hit 409.53. That's the high so far. Again, 7 cents away. See how they play games? They know it. That's people that be knowing that is that they start prematurely selling, right? Again, it's funny how the market does that. So as of now, we got a high of 409.53, right? Man, this stuff is awesome, man. This stuff, y'all gotta love this stuff, man. Y'all gotta love this stuff. Gotta love this stuff, right? That's why we always, going hard and getting all excited and whatever, right? Because this is what we do, right? But for the most part, yeah. All right. So hold up. So I'm sorry. Dang it. I wasn't even showing my screen. God dog it. I forgot I'm on StreamYard instead of Zoom. All right. So yeah, right there. So that point right there. Again, again we got up and hit 409.53. Right. That's the high. 7 cents away. 7 cents away. 7 cents away. Right. Right. And they ain't done. Look how strong they. Look how strong the market is. I mean, just sitting there. It just been inclining gradually throughout the entire day today. Just inclined it gradually. You had some kind of pullbacks, of course, on the 5-minute. It looked like all right. It was, but what I'm saying, the strength has overshadowed the weakness. It has definitely overshadowed the weakness. All right. So let's come back to the 5-minute chart here. All right. Man, this thing is just Alright, so again, you had to blow off. I didn't say blow off top. This early morning run up off the lows that because the pullback pre-market. You bounced that at around the closing price yesterday. You couldn't make this stuff up methodically, 4,850 area, and then after that, you start that next ascending, ascent to the upside. Again, going after that, those lofty targets, as one would say, up around that 4,960 and possibly even try to for 410. Again, 408.80 ish, or a 75, I should say, is my line in the sand for my last little put. If they're gonna make it come down and test that area, then whatever, come on with it then, right? Matter of fact, I should have said that at the VWAP. But even though if they let it tap the VWAP, they may kind of like the slight let it pull below that. So VWAP is sitting at what, 408.90 ish. Somewhere around there, right? So I say always compensate for about another 10 cents after that. So yeah, 408.85 is where I will have that stop loss, my stop loss, right? So again, that's rough around about what, 60, close to around about 50, 60 something cents from where it's at now in terms of the drop and the way that they send their propping this thing up. Yeah, they're gonna try to run for that high before they, we'll see. I know that's a whole lot of speculation, right? Like, yeah, man, if was a fifth, we all be drunk, right? But we ready though, right? We ready. So, yeah, I like where things are at as of now, and we just watching, So, but that's it. So again, I know that's for the most part. We talked about a little bit of everything like we always do, right? But so that's just it. So again, you can look down my description box as always. You kind of see what the market kind of how it was setting up early in the AM hour here. Kind of mixed results, whatever, and then you see what's going on with the tech side of the house. People trying to they're just trying to breathe life into the tech sectors, but ultimately the QQQs, but for the most part, everybody been running to the SPY and saying, we're just gonna deal with the ETF, not necessarily the individual names, because they just been laggards and slacking again, a la Tesla, right? And that's what they did. That was the game plan. It was just so obvious. It was obvious after Tuesday, really, to be honest. It was obvious after Tuesday that they were running and flooding the ETF side of the house as opposed to the individual names. It was obvious, right? So I didn't think twice. I was like, all right, I see what they're doing, right? And I've been saying every day after that, yeah, it's gonna pull back, But my calls, I've been buying my calls. I'm not crazy though. Yeah, I'm expecting at some point it's gonna happen. So I talked some trash to the jugger, like, yeah, it's gonna pull back, it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop. But for the most part, I know where my money's at. I know how to stay with inside the trend of the market, of where the money's at, and let that play itself out, right? But yeah, so jokers just have to sit back and just kind of watch this thing unfold, right? And so I think we're gonna be good. I think we're gonna be good. Far as in terms of just watching this trend play out here for the rest of the day. Well, basically at 1 o'clock. So yeah, lunch is about over, almost. Right, you kind of still at the thick of it at 1 o'clock here, but yeah, when they crank no algos really back up around about 2 p.m., that's when we're really gonna get crazy, right? They got to either barbecue or mildew, right? Hedge funds like to kind of what preempt all the day trading, so they're gonna start selling before everybody else get wind of it, right? That's how they always do, right? Right? If they're gonna sell a little bit, they're gonna do it right when everybody's thinking that everything's still kosher, right? They always do, right? But just be ready. Hey, what's going on, family? Franco, you say check tap. Oh, tap. Okay, yeah. What's going on, Frankly? Cola Monaco. All right, I see you there. All right, so let's see see what those tap look like. Oh, you talking about on the crypto side? Or is that no, that's excuse me, that's Coors Light. Excuse me, what I'm talking about. Excuse me, I forgot about that too. Yeah, it's been a minute since I played Coors. All right, because I know the other beer plays like Samuel Adams, right? And then of course you got Budweiser, Bud. Right, the beer plays out there. Then you got Constellation Brands, STZ, right? Modelo. All right, what is the Corona, right? The beer plays, right? Beer 30. Beer plays getting ready to open back up because of sports and all that, maybe. Who knows? They still did well, though, because people were drinking their behind off during quarantine, right? So, yeah, the chart here, obviously, on the daily, just using the daily first, as always, the first use, of value you want to look at. Yeah, you had a blow top up here outside the ingression band. Clearly here, you hit your high around about 56.10, and now you just kind of been, man, this Peter trough here was just beautiful. Look at that Peter trough here. Yeah, 56.10 down as low as 43.56. Man, that's a nice little $13 bag, right? Man, okay. All right. Oh no, say 56.10. Yeah, 56. So 56. So say 56. Excuse me. Yeah. So that to 46, right? Of course, 10, and then you got this so around about 16, 7, yeah, 16, 18 bucks somewhere around there. And then you bounce off the 20-day moving average here. Clearly here, you're hitting peak resistance again up around this 53.21, which just makes sense because there's your chatter area again. There you go. Here's the chatter, right? This guy right here. That's your chatter area. So you kind of pins and needles that thing there and turns that, right? Double top, divot, double top, divot, right? You pulling back toward 20 moving average here, which is clearly here. They got earnings coming up here on the 29th, right? So yeah. So for it can straight line out a little bit here going into earnings, same way. You got some pseudo support at around this 48.50 area, right? See right here, support area here, chatter area, even around this point right here, right? So in around 48.50 area, there could be like a little pseudo support. The first level obviously 20-day moving average. That's why I kind of stalling here at the 20-day moving average here on the daily. Clearly they're stalling there, right? But yeah, it can easily come down and test that area here. Yeah, so I don't know what the financials look like going into earnings. The momentum obviously in this case starting to roll back over here on the momentum squeeze indicator. The volume obviously downtrending and it's more red than green, so that's why the strength of the downtrend is not relegated to the stock kind of balance and not going back up. We'll see if it holds support at around 48.50. Then yeah, but in relation to that, the SP 500, of course, is definitely going the opposite direction. It's just going into earnings, right? So yeah, let it come. If it comes down and bounce out around that point there, 48, 48.50, whatever your line in the sand is, of course, I'm pretty sure you may have a goal in it. But beer, as a cold, again, spirits or whatever they want to call it, right? Drinks, right? The drinks. Yeah. It still seems like it's clearly in the uptrend, right? Off the, this area come around about September of last year, at even around the summer of last year, June, July, it's kind of bottomed out in around that $30 area, $33, $35, whatever. And you just went up and just made look at that run right there. That was a nice run. From end of October from 33 all the way up to 56 here around about January. So about 3-month run. That was a beautiful run there. 30 to 56, so roughly around about close to 80 some percent, somewhere around there, give or take. Around about 80 some percent move there. Right, then pull back a little bit, and now you're trying to establish a new uptrend to a degree. Run into some resistance clearly, but that's natural. Right, that's natural. All right. Yeah, so yeah, again, the sports arenas, of course, that stuff will be a play when people open back up concessions. Obviously, just period cookouts. 4th of July. Beer stocks. Seriously, they bang out, right? So if everybody trying to get back and have a 4th of July, yeah. But as of now, of course, if you look at it on a diagonal perspective, it does look like it's head and shoulders on a diagonal chart. When I say that, meaning, of course, look right here. Let me show this here. All right, it's right there, here, and then what? Right here. What do you see right there? On a diagonal chart, that's your head and shoulders. Right? So again, your neckline sitting at in or around that point there, give or take. So yeah, you can come down again, test, like I was saying, at around these little points here around about 40, 48 would be great, but definitely down here at the bottom around about 45, 48. Man, even back down here at the bottom of the band, yeah, 45. I would say if it comes down here and bounce, that'll be great, right? But if I don't know the complete story here, I would have to go check any kind of analyst targets, any kind of um, you know uh, press releases in terms of their guidance value, what they're going for in the stock. But as now on the diagonal chart setup here, it does look like you got a head and shoulders here. Uh, you know, Going into earnings on a 3-month rolling basis here. You say 2020 area, into 2020 here, into 2020, then sitting at where we're at now. Now 4 months in, it looks like it's a little, running to a little bit, resistance up around this point here. Right. So again, depending on how the market obviously definitely plays out next week, that could be more, you know, weight on top of the stock to push it down, the SPY rolling over a little bit. If the SPY rolls over a little bit next week, maybe early in the week, who knows? It can bring it down here, at around that point we're talking about, 49s, 48, 50-ish, whatever. And then from there you can really watch it, see how it plays out, in around this area here, the chatter here, and here. If not, before it breaks it maybe comes down here to around about 46s. 47 to 46 in this case here. All right, so 48 to around about 46 here. That's this big giant candle right here, right? This guy here. All right, so that's the old Coors Light tap, right? All right, so that's how it is. All right, man. So yeah, so I think that's about it, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna get ready to get off here. Again, I just want to kind of come on and kind of share a little bit what I've been looking at. I'm sure you guys been at it. And the market is just again back crap crazy as always. Gonna do what it want to do. All right, we understand that. Yeah, I see the market went up there trying to hit that 450 again. It came close. 494. Yeah, 50. Yeah, so that 4950 proving to be a headache so far. All right, but all they're doing is going right back down that 4930 area and kind of bouncing in or around it. So he's going to have to break the 20 moving average here to get some kind of flushing down to around 4920 and 4910 area. If they really, again, about that life and want to, turn it, they better do it because they ain't got that much time left, right? Again, puts at this place, puts, at this moment, I should say, excuse me, just, whatever. They grind up the dust. Right? They grind up the dust right now. And that's just what it is. Right? That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Right? You better learn how to move with the market, guys. Alright, so that's it. So if you guys got anything else, if not, I'm getting ready to log off here. Again, hopefully get a chance to do a little something, maybe after I get my hands kind of relieved a little bit here. I know we're going to try to, again, get something in this Sunday for the training, make up for the training session this past Thursday. So share it with your fellow colleagues or those who normally be in the training session with us if you can. I need to get around to doing it myself, of course, but yeah, I was trying to see if I can make it happen. I was like, I ain't going to be able to work. I was looking at the time, I was like moving, then I got some calls, then I had my hands full. A little over, I was like, okay, yeah, it ain't going to happen. I just had to hear everybody else. So I jumped in, at least, try to get something in today a little bit to kind of, speak on it. All right, so that's it, guys. So I hope you guys have a great. What's going on, over Sunline in the building? I see you that came through. Peace, power, profit. Over, happy to have you here, man. As always, man, the resident bouncing in the building, right? Making sure everything holding down the door, right? Happy to have you here, man. And everybody's been tuning in again. Just hope this stuff's been edifying. Hope you got something out of it. I know I was talking fast as I always do because I feel like I'm always up against time. I guess that's what it is, right? All right. But for the most part, I think we covered some good some good points of interest. Again, some of the information I do have down in my description box, as always, I try to provide stuff. So Peloton, Zoom, they pulling back again. Everybody trying to figure out, if Peloton gonna survive the market, opening back up. Same way with Zoom, right? Zoom been trending back down in that low $300 area finally, right? They either gonna barbecue a meal at that point. They are in a moment now where they're gonna have to, put up or shut up because Zoom then rode the Gravy Valley biscuit wheel trend throughout the whole pandemic, and they just made a ton of money, right? And same with Peloton. So Peloton going through that same scenario right now. They're gonna have to, again, get right. Now they're gonna rebrand themselves. Of course, they are not still gonna work. Then it's gonna become what? The Jillian Michaels kind of scenario, right? The Tybo, Mr. Tybo himself. This is gonna be them kind of scenarios, right? Where they're gonna have instructors come in and try to do what? This cycle training and all that stuff. They're gonna try to put subscription value on that because now, again, people opening back up and being able to go to the gym. What be only reason you want to kind of just hang around the house. Most people still gonna be working from home to a degree, but for the most part, people want to get back inside these gyms. So you got to have something very attractive in Peloton to make people want to still value, the use case to buy the machine and also subscribe to a service value to have people come instruct them in terms of health and fitness. So they can attract maybe some celebrity fitness people and try to get that, that going. But for the most part, it's going to have to kind of go through this little treading water moment for a moment here, I think, in my opinion, in terms of Peloton. Because, hey, right now, Planet Fitness, and stocks like that, Planet Fitness and Gold Gym and all of them, man, look, Joker finna get right. Right? So I'm finna tell you already. Right? Matter of fact, hold up. 1 second here. Let me see. Let me share this really quick here. Let me log off here. Get me a quick little lunch in and get out the door here for a second. So Planet, it's already started to bounce at this point, but I ain't gonna say it's too late. But it's the bouncing already, this little bounce, it's gonna pull back some more since then. Play this probably peak to trough. Look how this thing been trading out in that same peak to trough. Peak, trough, halfway here, resistance here, pulling back, resistance, went up and hit it here, pull back, close to it, not all the way to the bottom, but close enough. Ran back up, went up above it again, pull all the way back again to the 200 moving average, and now you kind of bouncing with in succession with the S&P 500 our 20 moving average here at $78 here. Planet 50 was the buy back at 50, around by $50 area. That's when it was all signs to go. It was all signs to go at around $50, even 60, but $50 it was all signs to go because it came back and hit those areas again from over here, way back in April 2020. You peaked out, came back down, bounced off the level of support around about 50 again. Clearly, you see it there. And traded and trended in around that between 50 and $60, $10. It tightened down to the uptrend. In an uptrend, it's kind of moved to the upside while it was still trying to find itself. And tread water in terms of business, right? A business model that everybody wasn't going to really. And then it took off. It's just now starting to take off. So again, when they really start saying, okay, we're getting back to opening up and really, man, people going to flood these gyms, right? They gonna miss them little dollar deals at Planet Fitness. Of course, I got my little membership at Planet Fitness. I sure canceled that junk during the middle of the pandemic though. I went I canceled it. Sure did. I'll pick back up a little later. All right, but seriously. So right here, it's peaking a little bit here. It can pull back a little bit, right? Or it can just go make this next little run, go up and test the top of the band around about 90-ish, right? Give or take. But going into earnings is going to be very interesting, right? Just going into earnings here on the 11th of May. So I think it's going to kind of do the same thing, trend at or around the 20-day moving average here, going into earnings potentially. And we'll see. If it don't make another little run for the top, it's gonna come back around that area here going into earnings possibly. But yeah, they're getting ready to open back up. That's all I can say. So that's them reopening trades, as they like to call them, the reopening trades, right? So Party City, right? That's another one. All them little stocks like that was off the beaten path. The value plays, man, them value plays popping, right? The Party City, right? We talked about Party City several times, right? A lot of people been sleeping on Party City. All them balloons and all that stuff like that, and the birthdays, you can get back out and party now. Man, look, y'all better stop playing, right? Stop playing. Party City gonna be about that life. That stock, what, $5 right now? Look where it came from, though. It was at 41 cents a share. Party City was at 43 cents a share back during the COVID lows. The March low, 43 cents, and went up and hit 10 on the February the 28th. Less than 1 year, it went up basically almost almost near 1,000%, almost near 1,000%. True story. True story, 1,000%. See, Joke like, man, how you be finding these stock, brother Afurakan? How you be finding this stuff? Man, look. Y'all better understand and realize. Again, that's what we talked about in the last training session. We talked about what? Growth stocks versus value stock versus legacy stocks. What's popping right now? Obviously value stocks. What they would love to get back in? Growth stocks, though. But right now, the use case for reopening America back up is going to be surrounded around a lot of these what? Oversold value plays, because they still have what? Use cases, because they didn't go under. They didn't go bankrupt. They survived, right? So that's why they look attractive. So yeah, parties. I can name out some more too, but I ain't. Do you research? That's all I'm saying. Do you research? But there you go, right there. And this down back near this bottom of the ingression band here. Right, they got one more probably bad earnings scenario to come through, and then they can probably start planning for what? Gravy Valley biscuit wheels. Because y'all know people gonna be tearing up Party City, getting them balloons and all the decorators, and holidays gonna be pertinent again to a degree, right? But look at this move here again, from 43 cents all the way up to $10 in less than a year. That's almost 1,000%, guys. You could have bought a gang of shares at 43 cents. And we talked about Party City back then. Then we talked about it over here during that time. I talked about Party City evenly. Man, look, all right, I'm done. I'm done. Right? I'm done. All right? No, but seriously, I hope you guys had a great day. Peace, power, and profit to everybody. Again, y'all know how this stuff go. Study to show yourself approved. Study to show yourself approved. Right? Because this is a what? Hands-on industry. It's a hands-on environment. You have to make sure that you're making good decisions, because, hey, this is only your financial future here at stake, right? So, get excited for that we have such a skill set that we're building on every day, getting better. We're getting solid. We're getting, again, a lot of experience, right? So every day, realize, that, you have a purpose here. Again, your goals are obviously, very vital. In terms of being able to, make those kind of moves that you want to make, I should say, into the future, and increasing your haul. In this case, when you make a bigger bag, because you know how to leverage a little better, know how to scale a little better, you know how to read the market a little better, and so that way, equally, you will have bigger profit hauls when it happens. But it's going to take basically everything that we've been talking about today, everything we've been talking about before now, in terms of your study habits and your ability to assess the markets from a very neutral perspective, right? Removing the implicit biases and start thinking about the market from a consumer first, right? Because before you became a market participant, you became a what? You was a consumer, right? You was buying all these products, right? And using their services. Now you're an investor now, right? Now it's like, okay, I know what's going on, right? From an investor perspective, I need people to kind of realize, the strength of the product and the service where they can kind of keep my stock price up. So you have to learn how to read those tea leaves thoroughly. So again, be patient with yourself. Let things unfold, thoroughly and properly. And I feel like, hey, the sky's not even the beginning of the limit, right? The sky's not even the beginning of the limit, right? You can write your own paycheck, literally, however you want. So I'm all excited for that. So everybody that tunes in. So thank y'all for tuning in again. Get ready to get off here. Peace, power, and profit to everybody that came through on the Facebook side, right? All the family here on the YouTube side of the house. Thank y'all for tuning in as well. again, this stuff would not be obviously possible without you guys coming through showing support. Not only that, because we don't come on here just to talk. We come on here to actually go to work. That's what we do. When I crank this live up, we're going to work. Right? We're going to go to work. Right? So get excited that, if you came away with anything from this discussion today, then that's a net positive to me. Right? That's all that matters, right? Because y'all know me. My mind is always focused on what? Goals, right? Hitting my goals, right? Handling my business, right? Because look here, you don't get nothing done sitting around here trying to play the dozens and fool yourself that everything gonna be okay when these people out here robbing everybody, right? Right? They robbing everybody that don't have nothing to fight with, right? Financially, definitely. So you're gonna have to learn how to get your money up, right? You have to get your weight up, right? And that goes for everybody, right? You're gonna have to learn how to play the game and get serious, right? You got to put a stop loss on the craziness. You got to put a stop loss on the foolishness. You got to put a stop loss on people wasting your time. You got to put a stop loss on all the stuff that's distracting you. You got to put a stop loss on things that are not growth laden, right? And get about that life, be about that life, figure out how to get paid, because people have made a lot of money, right, off this coronavirus, right? And they're going to continue to make money off of the destruction and chaos and all that. That's what they do. That's how they know how they get excited. Anytime something bad happens, they start licking their lips because they know they're finna make a gang of money off somebody. Right? And it's funny how that works, but that's how it works. Right? So just be prepared, be sharp, be witty, be confident, stay studied up, and let's get it. All right? So that's it. So again, 4960, 410, we'll see. Right? I done put out my little dog whistle call, so we'll see. But as of now, y'all see what the S&P 500 is doing. On the way out the door. Matter of fact, hold up, where is that? Where we at? Where are we? I think we should be sitting somewhere near 49, 40, 50-ish area, maybe. I don't know. Let's see real quick here. I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna let the thing. There we go. 49.40. There we go. There we go. There we go, yo. There we go. Right? This or that. Y'all know about who's the black sheep, right? That's before y'all time, man. That's before y'all time. But there we go. So, that's the goal. So anything above that, blow top near 410. Anything up near toward 411 in the day, going to close of the bell, maybe 10, 15 minutes before the bell close. Depends if they already start to sell off there. If they did not, I will be looking to get me some puts into next Monday as, some protection. We didn't did well on the calls this week, but y'all know how this stuff go. I'm just going to watch. Let me see if we can hit this goal, right? We hit that goal. If we hit that goal of 4960, 410, y'all just going to cash at me. Everybody is going to cash at me $1, right? Just $1. Just $1. $1. That's all I want. $1 can buy me some fishing baits, right? Buy me some baits at Walmart. All right. But no, seriously. So that's what we're looking at. 4964 or 410. That window opportunity. We're almost literally there. You see the strength here in terms of the uptrend. You see the moving average here starting to incline too, right along with it. Support now sitting at 4933 area at this point so far. And they're going to, they're trying here. They're literally trying here. Right? These people are, I almost don't want to go and just want to watch it with y'all, see it hit. Right? But hey, that's what we studied for. Y'all know what it is. All right? So yeah, we just wait for that thing to hit, right? When it hit right, y'all know when it hit. Y'all know when that thing hit. Y'all already know what I'm be doing. I'm be looking like just like right here. Favorite gift right there, my favorite meme when that thing hit. I'm just saying when 4960 hit, 410 hit, already 4950 here, y'all see what it is. We incrementally going up. But I'm going to go and get off here prematurely just for that reason, because I want y'all to watch this thing in silence, right? In silence. Silence, right? Dragonfly Jones style. Silence. Had you been practicing your art, you'll know your way around the dark. Silence. So study, 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 right? So until then, you guys have a great day. Have a safe weekend. I'll see you guys in training Sunday. What did I say? So yes, I think we're going to try to do it for Sunday, because I know tomorrow I'm definitely going to be pumped up. I see. I'll let y'all know. I hit y'all up because, I respect the people that's in the training. And we'll make sure we get this right. So, again, thank y'all for being patient with me in my moment right now because, again, my hands are like super, super full. And we're going to make sure we get that Thursday session made up and get it popping. All right? So that's it, guys. So again, Uncle Johnson Neb on the top side and Shem Hotep on the back side on Bantu. I am because we are. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your Friday. Trade safe, trade smart, right? Or as I say, trade safe, choose well, and stay green, my friends. But also definitely trade smart, of course. And we'll meet you guys back on the battlefield the next time we go live. All right, that's it, guys. Peace, power, profit. See you guys on the next one. Peace, everybody. Peace.